President Trump wins the lockdown wars as more and more Americans get red-pilled. That's right. In this video, we're going to look at what pundits are calling a total win for Trump and the Republicans and a colossal defeat for the Democrats and their shills in the mainstream media. And we're going to see what it all means for the upcoming election in November. You're not going to want to miss it. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, I look forward to this time each and every day. If you're brand new to this channel, welcome. We post 2 videos a day analyzing current events, like some super awesome conservative trends, so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. We help you to think better so you can feel better, right? So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button and get encouraged with each and every video and the myriad of ways in which left-wing globalism is collapsing and a new conservative age is rising. So let's start with our video chat question of the day. Do you believe that voters will punish the Democrats for their lockdowns in November? Let us know in the comment section below. Do you believe the Democrats will get their butts kicked in November for these lockdowns? Let us know in the comments below, because we're going to look at precisely why Trump and the Republicans have not only won the lockdown wars big time, but why Democrat governors are experiencing a massive backlash that may sink them in November. But first, if you're looking for an encouraging and hopeful alternative to all the fake news that's being spewed out there on a daily basis from the leftist likes of CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times, you're going to find no better antidote than what's in the pages of my book, The Return of Christendom. Now, don't take my word for it, all right? Just read through the reviews on Amazon, over 150 of them, and you'll see how this book cuts through all the cynicism and despair that we so often feel living in this crazy globalist world. And what it's going to do is it's going to inspire you and give you the hope you need to look at the world in a whole new light. In page after page, I give you all the data and statistics and indicators that show nothing less than a new conservative age rising. Indeed, a Christian majority is emerging in midst throughout the United States and Europe. And it's already transforming the world map into a more nationalist, populist, and traditionalist world. And if you click on the link below, we're offering for a limited time, you ready? At a 50% discount. That's right, you get 50% off, but don't wait. It's a limited time offer. Click on that link, get your book at a super discount today, and arm yourself with the information you need to crush fake news once and for all. All right, let's dive right in here. The Washington Examiner has a great piece out today entitled "Trump Wins the Lockdown Wars." And I think it's so right on, because when all is said and done, there were 2 major positions staked out on how best to handle the coronavirus, or at least that's the way it was presented. So on the one side, you had Trump and the red states, the Republican-controlled states that wanted to open the economy back up as soon as possible, to end the lockdown, open up all the businesses, open up all the churches, basically create a volunteer economy, right? So if you wanted to continue to stay locked down, you most certainly may do so. But if you want to return to at least some semblance of normalcy, you can do that as well. It's called a free market system the last time I looked. And that's what Trump and the Republican governors were all for. Then, on the other side, you had the Democrats, okay? The Democratic governors and their shills, their pathetic shills in the mainstream Marxist media, all they wanted to do was have a perpetual shutdown. Literally a no end in sight, constantly moving the goalpost shutdown, which was, of course, intended to destroy the economy in order to destroy the Trump presidency. And so in typical globalist fashion, the left-wing activists disguised as journalists worked in tandem with their left-wing leaders, the Democratic governors and politicians, to scare and intimidate and harass anyone who would even dream or consider reopening the economy before the November election. Now, just to give you a sense, I'm not even remotely exaggerating here. Check this out. Look at this headline from The Atlantic a few weeks back. It was in response to Georgia's Republican governor, who was one of the first to open up his states. Look at it. You ready? Georgia's experiment in human sacrifice. The writer of this piece, Amanda Mull, is actually accusing the governor of Georgia of human sacrifice to the god of the economy. But she's hardly alone. Paul Krugman of the New York Times, who has never known a left-wing fad that he wouldn't shill for, he asked a similar question. How many will die for the Dow? Nice little alliteration there. That's right. If you're Donald Trump and you want the economy reopened, you're basically killing grandma for the sake of Wall Street. Or consider this one. This tweet from Jennifer Rubin of the Washington Post back on April 1st, excoriating the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. This is on DeSantis and the Trump death cult. And by the way, keep in mind, Jennifer Rubin is constantly and consistently portrayed by the Marxist media as a conservative commentator, right? Which shows you precisely the kind of conservative, the inside the beltway conservative that the ruling class of our media elite approve of, all right? Or take this headline responding to DeSantis' measure to reopen the economy. Ron DeSantis' coronavirus response is killing us. Who needs symbolism of sacrifice or cultic rituals anymore? Let's just come out and say it, darn it. The Republicans are actually killing us. Oh, man. Now, this is the infantile nonsense that the woke culture in our nation spews out into the world each and every day through our Marxist media. There's no arguing with it because it doesn't want to be argued with. If you argue with it, it just goes to show how hateful and bigoted and clueless you are. So that's one side of the aisle on this whole coronavirus situation. But on the other side, of course, as you know, the other side of the aisle led by President Trump, they didn't give in to all these hyperbolic hysterics several weeks back. They were not intimidated by the lunatic left legacy media. And who just a few weeks ago were predicting a reopening Armageddon. And so Trump and the Republicans went ahead and reopened their economies. Texas, Georgia, Florida, places like South Dakota never even shut down. They went full steam ahead with their plans to implement full reopenings. And what happened? Did we get a new pandemic wave killing off more victims sacrificed to the altar of profit and greed? Well, again, you know the answer to that. No, we didn't. The leftist globalist fearmongers, what do you know, were wrong again. No, Brexit did not start World War III, as then Prime Minister David Cameron warned back in 2016 to scare Brits to vote against the referendum to leave the EU. And no, states that reopened a few weeks back in the midst of all the left-wing hysterics did not see a spike in new infections. Now, what's so interesting here is that this successful relaunch of the economy in these red states, these Republican states, it appears to have had the effect of red pilling more and more Americans. Now, Dan Bongino and others, such as Dave Rubin, are observing that these lockdowns are ending everywhere precisely because Americans have begun to rise up against these draconian Democratic governors. I think particularly the way Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, began pushing back against the tyrants in California, saying that he was going to open up his Tesla facilities whether they allow him to or not. And the county backed down. Alameda County officials told him, hey, man, hey, you got it, man. Open up. Just don't leave, please. And pundits are recognizing here more and more that Americans are basically beginning to ignore their government, their respective Democrat-led governments. And there was nothing that the Democrats could possibly do about it. And so they collapsed. They conceded. Now, the debate right now is no longer about whether to open up. Now the debate is simply over how quickly and completely reopening should take place, which means that the naysayers, the liberal left-wing Karens spewing their nonsensical fake news, have officially lost the argument. Trump and the Republicans have won. They won the argument hands down. As a result of Trump's leadership and the increasing red pilling of Americans in blue states, the left has surrendered their attempt to keep the economy shut. And so now the question centers on just how quickly and completely reopening should take place, with Democrat blue states lagging from the rear, but having to open up nonetheless. Even Fauci, who's been such a stalwart over keeping the lockdowns in place, even Dr. Fauci's given up on that. He's given the green light to open the economy back up. So this is what President Trump is banking on from here as in terms of November. The economy has begun to officially open up as of Memorial Day, which it has yesterday, all over the nation, obviously at different degrees and different stages. And with the return to business, the economic numbers begin to skyrocket. So Trump's economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, is predicting a very strong second half of the year. In fact, he's gone so far as predicting that the third quarter will be the highest growth quarter in U.S. history. Now, if that happens, Trump cruises to re-election, period. We don't even need to talk about it anymore. Voters clearly trust Trump over Biden when it comes to the economy. And what we're seeing now with the reopening of businesses and the like, that's all everyone is going to be talking about. It's the economy, stupid, all over again. And Trump has already won that debate. And when the economy begins to soar again, I think you'll see Trump's numbers ex post facto on how he handled the coronavirus go up as well. Because people will be seeing it now from the vantage point of its resolution. And they'll see that Trump handled the crisis about as well as it could have been handled, especially the more they find out how Biden wanted to keep the borders open. And he said explicitly that he would not have implemented a travel ban with China. But I think we're already seeing the election playing out right before our very eyes. As the nation opens up, as it turns out, the Democrats and their left-wing shills and the mainstream Marxist media have lost. They have lost big time. And Trump and the Republicans have won in a massive landslide. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my video. I just uploaded it on the liberal left tweens on Twitter calling for the Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon to be canceled because of a video from 20 years back showing him with a painted blackface. But I show you how cancel culture is only going to end up canceling itself. It's going to absolutely make your day, so make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.